Go along, get along game. 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 My mama's cooking. Go along, get along game. My mama's cooking. Go along, get along game. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, bear with me, class. Get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Bear with me, class. Go along, get along. 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 My mama's cooking. Go along, get along. My mama's cooking. All the gatekeepers say. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, bear with me, class. Get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along, game is real.
Go along, get along, gang. Say,
Go along, get along, game is real.
Let's go, go along, get along, gang.
Go along, get along, game. Say,
Go along, get along, gang is real.
Go along, get along, game. Go along, get along, game.
Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Bear with me, class. Go along, get along, gang. Go along, get along.
Go along, get along. Go along, get along. Go along, bear with me, class. Get along. Go along, get along. Go along, get along.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
Black, 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 you ain't black. Black, 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 black leadership. Black, 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 you ain't black. Black, 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 black leadership. Black, 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 you ain't black. Black, 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 black leadership. Black, 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 you ain't black. Black, 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 black leadership. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't 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 black. I want black. Trump. You ain't black. Racism. You ain't black. Charlemagne. You ain't black. Essential workers. You ain't black.
I'm black.
You ain't black.
Why not?
You ain't black.
Come on, guys. I'm Black Dana.
Come on, man. You ain't black. Blacks. You ain't black. Dr. King. You ain't black. This virus. You ain't black. Come on, man. You ain't black. A disproportionate amount of them ain't black. Ain't black. Now people recognize that you ain't black. And you ain't black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't black. I want black. You ain't black. Something for black. You ain't 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 black. I want black.
I tell you what, if I had to tell them of any one of these people, I'd be
Black.
Yo. Oh man, I'm trying to get over this god doggone cold. I'm sitting in front of the fireplace, freezing. Then I get hot. Man. Man. Hold on, I got a member that I missed. Salute to the new member, Aquarius 1982. We the same age. Salute. Man, this cold is kicking my butt. I done took me some ginger pills. I'm gonna have to take me some more. I done drunk my tea. When I drunk my tea, I was burning up hot, so I had to take my shirt off. Now I got down, finished my tea. It's hot. It's 83 degrees in here, and I'm cold as hell. So, man, I don't know what to do. I'm just bundling up and taking it off. Paul. Well, listen, man, we got a real good show for y'all. Real good show. We're gonna start off by going over the Etan Thomas and Kwame Brown interview. We're gonna go over that first, and then as people come in, we're gonna go over the Lakers game. Because I don't know why LeBron wasn't ejected along with Dylan Brooks. Because LeBron damn near slapped the shit out of the referee. So I'm a little bit confused, but hey, you know. Ooh, I'm freezing. What did I have to eat time? There it is. All right, let me share this. Shout out to Etan Thomas. This was me and Etan the other day on his platform. Let's see. And that's the rematch show. The rematch is Etan Thomas's show. Let's get it. So, shout out to Etan. I'm gonna text him and let him know we're going over the video in case he want to come up and say something.
Call me Kwame Brown so he can say it in his own words, because y'all be thinking that I'll be exaggerating sometimes or something like that. But let's go back. Let's go back, Kwame, and talk about the way. And I see your shirt. You know, what was you doing at them colleges? You know, right, Steve. What were you doing? And break down exactly how it was bigger than him just talking bad about you. Mm-hmm. It was like he went on a campaign against you, and that's out of the norm of what a media person does. So it had to be something more to it. But you break it down for everybody.
I think I break down a lot of excuses that people make. Life is about choices. I was in the house with some brothers that went to prison. You know, I'm from a single parent household. So they came to me, or they came to my mother, wanting to do this story about my dad being in prison, to do the whole single mother thing that they normally do. And my mother said no. She said, I have 4 sons in prison. So why would we glorify something that only one son is going to the NBA? The other ones are in prison. So she was like, I'm not glorifying this, and I don't hate their father. So I think that the character assassination that they did.
She said, Drake ginger and all that, and then stop being so friendly in public. Who I'm friendly to? Who was I friendly to? I'm pretty friendly though.
Me, because if you look at it, everything about me is negative. Sally Jenkins, she wrote an article, she got like an award for it. I don't even know this lady. So to write a hit piece like that, when you can look up my high school transcript. All right, so you can look up my transcript and see that I graduated with honors, that I was signed, sealed, and delivered to go to University of Florida by my 11th grade year, I think 10th grade year. So a guy that's that prepared that early, 14 years old, working, never late, that guy don't know how to wash his clothes. That guy don't know how to do all the things that this lady was saying. They just gave me $12 million to a guy that she made seem like can't walk and chew bubblegum. And it's because I think that we didn't follow the whole manuscript of get drafted from a black single mama, you know, do this hit piece of, you know, a woman got you there. She gave me praise. She said, my son, you know, worked. My son helped me with the bills. So then they did another piece where they made her look like the poorest woman in the world, had her sitting on the porch and had her looking feeble. And that wasn't my upbringing. My brothers were selling drugs. We had plenty of money, you know, after, you know, I'm not saying to glorify it, but I'm just saying to make it look like that. So on every sense of the curve, they try to make my story look like this. Oh, when it's not that. Right. Is a young man stepped in to fill a gap because a man was in prison, the sins of a father. When a father is not present, things go to disarray. A young man stepped up, worked, did the responsible thing, gave his mother his check, and also worked to play basketball and make honor roll. That should be in a fucking movie. I should be getting a Pulitzer Prize or some shit like that instead of some lady who wrote some article that don't even know me. And so if I was a black woman, I didn't have a statue of me, but because I don't fit.
Y'all see me doing the Donald Trump hands? I'm a little sick. I hope I don't got no booger in my nose. Let me cover up my nose because I've been blowing my nose, but y'all see me doing the Donald Trump hands, don't y'all? I'm doing the Donald Trump hand. Let's get it.
Their bill. I don't say what everybody want me to say because I know real life, you know. And some of my upbringing, I'm almost done with my book, but some of my upbringing.
Finally, Kwame, there you go.
I had a lot of
I read that book a long time ago. But go
I
ahead.
had a lot of distractions.
All right.
but the way that they tell my story, when every woman would want a son like me, I didn't need a college fund. I didn't need anything. I actually like me. The way that they tell my story, when every woman would want a son like me, I didn't need.
And I'm not bullshitting when I say that. If you set aside some money, just let's just say I had some parents. There's some parents out there, they set aside $400,000-500,000 for their kids' scholarship. They set aside $200,000-300,000. They would have been able to just go on vacation with that money. They would have been able to just buy them a new house with that money. I don't need it. Yeah, they'd have just been able to, you know, do what you want to do with that. I'm that son. You ain't had to save for. I got this.
Need a college fund. I didn't need anything. I actually helped my parents and my family. And so to try to write my story as something that's anything other than magnificent, if I wasn't such a great basketball player.
Does Etan know I support Trump? So that means he should have left. Etan is not like you. He's not sensitive like you. He support the Democrats, but I still talk to him. So he's not supposed to talk to me because I support a policy. I don't support no individual. I support policy. So are we supposed to not like each other based on that? With your logic, nobody will be talking to each other.
That's fine in your opinion. But what I think Stephen A. did by going to those colleges, because I remember standing on a podium one day and they said, "How did you do it?" And I was like, this was easy. It's in the newspaper. I said, "This is easy." I said, I break down all the excuses. I said, my mother was on welfare. I said, I went to the free lunch program. I ate in the same cheese lines as you. I said, so if I can do it, you can do it. I said, I did all that while holding down a part-time job. I literally was going to basketball practice 5 o'clock in the morning. I would leave my house at like 4:30 to get to school, 5 o'clock in the morning practice, or like 5:15 practice. Got to go to school. After school, go to work. Fucking, I'm stocking the McDonald's freezer till 11 o'clock at night. Wake up, do it all over again. And I still was a McDonald's All-American, Mr. Georgia, and got myself signed and sealed to go to college. All of that while working a job. Yeah. So what is anybody's excuse? If you really want to do something, if you have that why, that reason.
Now, that guy that was doing all that from 14 to high school, that guy don't know how to dry his clothes. So you see why I never really paid attention to these dumbass articles? You know, I had to grow up as a young teenager, so I didn't pay attention to stupid people saying stupid shit, especially when you're giving me $3-4 million a year. I don't give a fuck what you saying. You better not come over here and say it to me, and you better not put your motherfucking hands on me. I know that. And that's all I was doing. You have no content, but you over here, and you subbed up to say that. Yes, thank you, man. Appreciate it. You subbed up to say that. Damn it. That's so great. I run you, boy. And if you ain't sub up for 5 minutes, if you ain't sub to this channel, you won't be able to type for 5 minutes. That's how we giving it up. You will not enjoy my chats any longer to say you the stupidity and disparaging things outside of being a member. We will be members only over here. Every time I'm around my computer, we will be on members only. So all the haters that say, fuck him, I'm not going to sub up, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, then you won't be in this chat. If you want to come over here and chat, you will be a sub. We'll let you chat and say a bunch of stupid stuff, but you better not go too far. We'll time you out first. And then after that, we block you. But yeah, we're going to run you haters. We running a hater business over here. Yeah, so if you ain't subbed up over here already, just so you know, just like my other channel, we ain't doing the 1 minute no more. Your ass gonna sit out 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I got no content but you over here. Interesting thing.
To work hard, because that's all you need. You got myself signed and sealed to go to college. All of that while working a job. Yeah. So what is anybody's excuse? If you really want to do something, if you have that why, that reason to work hard, because that's all you need. You need a reason. You need, why am I doing this? Why am I going to work this hard? And I have my reason. I'm helping my mama get out of this hood, get out of this situation. So I'm going to run through everything I got to go through. I didn't feel nothing. because I had that why. And so people need to figure out, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for money? Are you doing it for because you love this thing? What are you doing it for? And if you don't have a why and why you're doing something, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
I mean, it's interesting because, you know, looking at Stephen A. Smith, and he made it so personal. And it was like you did something to offend him. But I did. But
everything he's not. That's not fair.
You said what?
I'm everything he's not. That's not fair. I was even the prom king, to add insult to injury. I'm a kid from the cheese line. I made my way to the prom king. So when you hear my story and you hear where I come from, you hear my father's in prison, now your mind go to a class thing. So it's more of a classism issue than a racism issue, because Stephen A. would look at me and go, where does he come from? Do you know how many times I've dated a girl and I go to their house and their family find out my father's in prison, my brothers go in and out of jail, and I'm on honor roll. I'm ready to go to Florida. I'm doing everything right. And they'll say, come here. They'll take a door. Come here.
Right.
That's what brothers is doing. Right. Bring them back over here. Like,
hey, that still happens to this day. There's a sector of black folks that think that they are better, or they built up enough clout with white people that they're not like us. They're not like the ghetto ones. You know, we all was one band, one sound before they started educating us. Then they started educating us. Your granddaddy can't read at all, but the son can read, and now he started talking shit. Well, I'm educated. So now we done got a few educations, a few little different degrees. We got status. So now we link up with people based on that. That's why people ask you a series of questions. Where did you go to school? Where did you go here? And they respect you based upon that. I didn't go to college, so they go to looking at me a certain way. I didn't go here. I didn't go there. So then they think that I'm just a basketball player. But I don't take my time out to prove to nobody anything. If that's how you think, fuck you. I can care less. I don't think like that. God ain't gonna say you did good by getting that degree, son. God gonna say you did good by how you represented me, how you carried my message. He's not gonna care about what degree you got. He's not gonna care about your job status. And the most people that judge people the most are the Christian ones, are the ones that say that they understand. Those be the most closed-minded people now. You give them a little bit of something, and they ain't trying to hear shit from you. You heard Boyce Watkins, they tell you the truth right in your face. We only want 10%. Imagine that. Black folks saying they only want 10% of black people. So what do they want for the other 90% of people? Will they sell them off into slavery? Would they fight for them? If they only want 10% of people, they're not going to fight for you. So yes, slavery could happen again with that type of mindset where you identify yourself as some smart and better individual. And then the other people, that's just the 10%. That's how Hitler did it. That's how all these people did it. They made people feel like they were above other people. And ain't never one of you some bitches above anybody. Your ass gonna get hit with that same embalming fluid that I get hit with and that everybody else get hit with. They don't click a magic pill and say, oh, wait, this is a celebrity. Let me give them celebrity embalming fluid. No, your stupid ass gonna get hit with the same embalming fluid and get cut up with the same knives and the same motherfucking sutures. I mean, the same knives and every damn thing else everybody else get. God dang.
Yeah.
So it's more of a class thing than anything else. I've always, because of what my father done, because of some of my brothers, I've always been, oh, he from welfare? Oh, I've always been, he may not be our cup of tea. And that's by black people, not just white people.
But see, I think it's deeper than that, though, with Stephen A. Smith, to be honest with you. Let me explain why. You know, I was part of the executive committee.
I had to bite my lip because I'm like, ain't no damn deeper than that. But he didn't talk about Stephen A. He talked about David Stern. He's about to switch gears and tell you how David Stern now goes in a meeting, and guess who David Stern, the owner, the NBA commissioner. Guess who the NBA commissioner is talking about? Kwame. So now I feel like the Jadakiss song. Who they talk about? Me. Who they talk about? Me. That's all they talk about.
With the union. And I'm right there with the negotiations during the lockouts and the, and the collective bargaining negotiations, listening to David Stern appeal to everyone, talking about why he feels that is imperative, he kept using that word, it is imperative for us to have an age limit. And he used Kwame Brown as the number one reason. and he was quoting different things. I heard this out of his mouth. Like, this is not hearsay or me saying that I heard he was doing this. I'm sitting there and watching him do this. You know, this was firsthand information. And anybody that was on that executive board can tell you the same thing, including Billy Hunter. And I heard him quoting Stephen A. Smith and quoting Sally Jenkins and quoting all these different things about you to say why high school players are not prepared to be in the NBA. I think it was
some unfounded claims from two people that don't even know me. Forget my body of work before I got to the NBA. Forget that I had a job at 14 and I made the newspaper. They could have looked it up, didn't they, investigate? Forget that they did a background check on me and everything about me was clean. And so forget all that. And I think what they did to me was criminal. I really think that I could sue them, but it would cost so much money. But I really think what they did was they used me as the poster child for this age limit or for a reason why kids couldn't come out of high school. So everything Kwame Brown was always negative. Any reporter that talked to me, they would change the words I was saying to make me sound dumb. They would leave things out. I'm like, I didn't even say that.
Right.
I'm like, what is wrong with you? They were like, well, you said that, but I might have left that out. I'm like, when you leave that out, it changes the entire sentence. It changes what I'm saying. You're making me look like Gutter Man. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And it's like, so I said,
you
want me to look a certain way? I'm just going to stop talking.
Yes, they wanted you to look a certain way. That's 100% the reason. And the lady Sally Jenkins, I mean, I don't know. I still think you need I don't know the statute of limitations or whatever, but I think you should have a lawsuit against her because everything that she printed were lies. That's defamation of character. You can't just make stuff up. And I mean, there's character witnesses that say, no, that's not true. I remember reading that piece and I was like, wait a minute. Kwame Brown he don't know how to order food. He don't know how to take clothes to dry cleaner. I just was with him.
How hard is it to take
order food just fine?
This was sad about that though. First of all, I never even read this thing. I didn't even deal with the media. You know how I did. But how hard is it to take clothes to the dry cleaner? I do it now. I'm so familiar with the dry cleaner. I just hand them the bag. They hand me a ticket. That's alcohol.
It's not rocket science.
Like, what are you doing? Like, the sad reality of it is for Black people to believe that I come from the hood. They used to give me the paperback stamps and go to the store with a list, and I come back with everything. I used to be able to buy beer at 9 years old. When you were from the hood, you already know. They teach you and raise you up earlier so you can help raise the younger sibling. So to pretend like I'm like some regular, age kid, when you met me, I'm well.
And everyone knows this about people from the hood. You can be taught good things coming from the hood, and you can be taught bad things. Being from the hood, parents try to get their kids to be able to fend for themselves very early because it's a lot going on in the hood. So you got to look out for your brother and sister. They make sure that if you have a younger sibling, they coach you up. They show you how to look after them and watch them. You got to help. So if you want to learn that street stuff, you can learn that street stuff too. But the one thing you're going to learn is how to be responsible. You're going to learn right from wrong, what you choose to do, because it's right there for you. But what you choose to do is up to you. But mama going to teach you that your ass going to stay here and watch your little brother. And you ain't going to be disrespectful or irresponsible either. So to pretend like you can leave a normal age kid, a normal 10 or 11-year-old with their younger siblings, and the whole house could burn down. You leave me at motherfucking 12, 13 with my other sibling. I'm going to cook them some food. I'm going to goddamn make sure everything's straight, do homework with them. Everything going to be good because I was taught to do so. So I don't understand this shit. You can learn what you want. It's about you gonna earn your keep. You goddamn right. You ain't gonna just stay up in here for free. So when them liberal white women do shit like this is what I don't like. My transcript is public records. So to pretend like a guy that's ready, I wasn't none of these college students or these basketball players that had to go prop 48. I was ready to go. Ain't nobody had to sit back and take no test for me. I was ready to go. So to have this lady and Stephen A. coupled together writing articles and then Stephen A. going to do stand-up comedic style information to teenagers. They went after the youngest minds, sending this man to schools and high schools and colleges. Why? They wanted young people. Because I'm telling you, after I went pro, there's been like 7, 8, 9, 10 people from my little small hometown from my hometown alone. I swear we probably got about 10 or 12 people, maybe even more than that, maybe like 14 now, that done gone pro from some sort of sport, whether it be baseball, mostly football, a few baseball. Like, they don't understand. Well, they understand about inspiring a generation. That's why they only show our generation shooting movies and cocaine cowboy shows and all that. They want to inspire them. They just want to inspire them in a different way. So having a kid that come from the area that you come from, that's why the Allen Iverson effect was so great. They wasn't going to let that shit happen again. Allen Iverson ran the NBA over Kobe because the hood identified with Allen Iverson. They hate that. Why you think they attacked Allen Iverson so much? He looked like the culture. He wore chains. Now, I wouldn't have wore chains and all that, but he inspired people to put down that gun and go hoop. This is what dudes thought, like, damn, this dude was just in jail. He was in prison, and he made it to the league. He went to college, made it to the league. That inspires people. So they don't want that. They know to go right to the core. Okay, Stephen A., go tell these kids that Kwame Brown ain't shit. Go tell these kids to joke on Kwame Brown. They wasn't telling them about that money. I wish they would have told them both. Yeah, he making $4 million to sit on their bench. And I guarantee you, every child that's in that car would be like, well, shit, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. He ain't the one telling y'all to sit him on the damn bench. He making $4 million. Sign me up to be a bust, then, if that's what you saying. But see, they wanted to sway people's opinion. And that's what they do. This dummy said, Kwame, when are you getting that show? We can look at Etan interviews in 2026. You got to start growing, my brother. 425 subscribers. Your message is being blackballed by Stephen A. Smith. You over here still typing. But this is a brand new interview from the other day, dummy. You know, beyond my age. So the fact that she would write some crap like that, I'm telling you, I believe it was all a part of their plan to make me look a certain way, because everything that I actually did was amplified. I got a speeding ticket. They made me like I was the worst thing in the world. David Stern came to see me. They printed it. And then I remember LeBron got a speeding ticket. And he said, why should they make cars go this fast?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, that was the king. Oh, he's there.
Right.
I said, holy shit.
But the thing is, and going back to hearing David Stern in the meetings, it's like verbatim quoting. So and everybody has to know how David Stern.
Let me ask you this: was that recorded?
Nah, those meetings were recorded. I don't think so, at least for now. Those were when it goes. But everybody was there. But the thing about it is, he didn't use any examples of any of the. He didn't use any Kobe, any Tracy McGrady, any all the other players that came straight out of high school and did well.
Al Harrington.
No, there's a whole list. But they focus on you. But you got to understand how David Stern operates. He plants things in the media. So he puts people out in the media. So when they cast it, like, so we would be sitting there during the meetings, right? And the meeting would be over. Okay. 5 minutes later, we turn on the TV and the person is saying verbatim what was in the meeting. Like verbatim. This person said this. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't already know this. It's only been 5 minutes. I gotta know all these details. But the thing, I mean, it's David Stern went on a campaign to make all players that come out of high school look like they were inadequate, right? And Stephen A. Smith contributed to that because he quoted him. You know what I mean? So I would say, now I don't have any proof of this, but it's too much of a coincidence that then Stephen A. Smith was going on a campaign to different places, saying this same narrative about how unprepared you were allegedly for life. You know what I mean? And how and it all led to them wanting to have this age limit. So that's one thing, right? And then another part of it, and this is a part that I witnessed myself, which is always so unfair because so many of the media contributed to this. And this is where I get into the issues now when I'm talking with the media and saying, because let me say, like David Aldridge, that's my guy. OG, nothing but respect for him. We disagree all the time, but that's my guy, right? So one thing that he doesn't like when I use the term the media, because he says it puts all of them in one bucket. And he's like, we're not all the same. You have this media personality, you have media personalities, you have journalists, and I get it. I get what you're saying, right?
But they're complicit though.
You're right. I'm making a point. So I was like, but I don't hear any of you all condemn when Stephen A. Smith was going on a campaign to denigrate Kwame Brown. I don't hear anybody saying anything. And I challenged different media people. I did a podcast and I the one that Gilbert didn't like that I did with all the media people. And I had Michael Lee and who I have John Mitchell from the Washington Times. I don't know if you remember all of them, but they was all around when we were there. And then Mike Wise from the New York Times. And I asked them, I challenged them. I was like, well, I didn't hear any of y'all, distance yourself from the things that Stephen A. Smith was doing. So how are you not lumped in? Because you have to do something to this. You have to say, look, this does not represent me. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to get lumped in with it, you have to distance yourself. And
it was too much. It was too much money in it. You can say something about Kwame Brown right now, and people have been conditioned so much, you'll go viral. And so Mike Wilbon did the same thing.
Yeah.
He's another one that would say all kind of outlandish stuff. And I'm just like,
You said who?
Mike Wilbon.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, these two slob, doofus looking dudes that can't play sports, that don't have an athletic bone in their body. They're literally like, it's almost like the athletic nerds that used to get stuffed in the lockers. It's like Revenge of the Nerds. They literally have people calling Russell Westbrook Westbrick.
Yeah.
How can Skip Bayless, a guy that can't play basketball, who couldn't even make a high school team, come up with a name that people in the real world will call somebody that's a top 75 in the NBA? A name.
No, I agree. And that's why, okay, so when you went off on everybody, and you was like, F you, like that, when you went off on everybody, I had so many media people call me and be like, hey, could you talk to your man Kwame? He's really upset and everything like that. My phone was blowing up off the hook because you went down the list of the people on the team.
But guess what they did to fix that? Because you didn't call me. They had what's his name? Dr. Boyce Watkins, aka Moise Watkins, compare me to a cult leader.
Yeah, I saw that too. And
all they do, guess what they do when they don't like the truth? They get on the smear campaign. Then they have Gilbert Arenas come out. I haven't been around Gilbert Arenas in 20 years. He tell everybody he drinks all the time. He does this all the time. I said, Gilbert Arenas, I haven't been around you since 2004.
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s. Are you doing the same thing or whatever you were doing in your 20s?
Yeah.
Like for just so quick with the slander when it comes to me that I just know that it got to be something else. It got to be something different. Why they want to invalidate my words?
But it was so. The thing with Stephen A. Smith. I mean, honestly, and all he has to do is say my bad to you. Like, yes, okay, I was wrong, but it's like that pride. Like we're all like that was a long time ago. There's no
Stephen A. I don't think he was wrong. If you listen to Stephen A. Smith, the one thing he tell you the truth. I'm just doing my job, and I do believe you're right. He got paid to do a job, and I wouldn't even know who to start off suing. Like, I guess him and Sally Jenkins and Disney and ESPN. Because
you know who.
The things they said, I'm like, okay, let's match up my real life. Because everybody knows me in my town. My grades are right there. Let's match up my actual life with what you guys are saying. And let's figure out how can you prove this. Because it's crazy what they said.
Well, so with Sally Jenkins, she was just, is it Jenkins or Jennings? One of the two.
It's Jenkins.
Jenkins. Sally Jenkins, she was just making up things. So those were things that were outright lies.
I might have to go read this thing.
So that is everything that she listed, all the stuff that she told, and she actually won an award for, which is the crazy part afterwards. Those were lies. So that's defamation of character. Like you can prove that. Stephen A. Smith, what he does, he just went on this campaign of, just calling you all these different names, but he wouldn't stop. Like it's one thing, okay, you've given your opinion, you said what you felt about this person as a player, okay, you said it, and then you move on, right? But he just continuously did it, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not normal. Like, why would you, like, you making this so personal? Like, this has to be something else. Like the situation with Kyrie Irving, it has to be something else. It can't be just that you're that offended by Kyrie Irving. What? Because he didn't want to take a vaccine? Because he
it's because the popularity. When I went to the #1 draft pick, I'm instantly popular. And you add that right next to Michael Jordan, okay, it goes even worse. So then if I won't succumb to whatever narrative that you want to push, then they'll take that popularity away from you. That's what they do with everybody. Kyrie is so popular because he's not only is he a good player, but he dresses up and he does the commercials where he goes and dresses up at different people. So he has the youth. A lot of the young people know Kyrie because of that. And so when you are impressionable, when you can control a lot of people, if Kyrie stand up and don't take that thing in his arm because he don't know what it is and that's what they're pushing, then he might encourage all of his followers, which is a large following, to do everything. And so I did a check, right? Most of our, if not all of our A-list celebrities that are Black, they're all Democrat, and they all say the same exact thing. And if they fall out of line, they treat him like Kyrie. Kyrie was one of the only Black males I've seen besides the young man Jonathan something in Orlando.
Jonathan Isaac,
that was vocal about not taking that jab. Jonathan Isaac was able to play in Brooklyn, but Kyrie wasn't able to play in Brooklyn because nobody knows who Jonathan Isaac is. Not a lot of people, but everyone knows Kyrie, so he got to be extra punished because he got out of line because he's an A-lister.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that, though.
That's it, though. You know how many people Kyrie could change their minds about having their own thought? Most people scroll through Instagram, find out what they're going to eat based on where Cardi B is going, based on where Meg Thee Stallion is going. That's why she was at the inauguration. I'm telling you, they go get a celebrity to coerce people to do everything. That's why I don't succumb to this celebrity thing.
Yeah, but with Kyrie, it was so personal with Stephen A. Smith. Like it was like he personally offended him somewhere where that it was like something else that we don't.
It wasn't personal with Stephen A. Smith. It was personal with his bosses. His bosses hired Stephen A. to be the mouthpiece. So you looking at Stephen A., it ain't Stephen A. Stephen A. is just doing his job. Do you know how many Stephen A's there are in the hood? There's Stephen A's in my chat. Man, for that mighty dollar, people will turn into anybody. So yeah, it's not more so about Stephen A. than the people who pay Stephen A. I want you to come out of the shadows and tell us your real opinion. Don't use this Black man to do it. He loves doing a job that white people ask him to do.
No.
He should be lucky. Kyrie should be lucky to have that type of money. You're an A-list celebrity. Just get in line with the rest of them. Now, the first thing they attacked with Kyrie, they had Stephen A. come on camera. If I was somebody, I wouldn't trust him with a long-term deal.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy to say for a media person to say about a player.
He's doing his job. He gets paid to do this. And when I said it, nobody was examining it because they kept saying, no, Kwame's just mad about what he's saying about him. Two things could be true. I could also be mad, which is encouraging me to look at him a little bit deeper, which I discovered that this is his job.
Yeah, and that's the part that he gets rewarded for this. So he wouldn't do it if he wasn't getting encouraged and rewarded for it.
He's only getting encouraged to do it with black men. Dana White, I've never seen nothing like this in my life. Dana White slapped his wife on camera.
Yeah.
Bam! I'm like, Dana White going to jail. Slap league is over. He's not going to be in the UFC. Dana White ran and slapped the league the next week. He was shaking hands with the president the week after that, walking him into a UFC event. He didn't lose one sponsor. In a Believe All Women, they didn't say just black women, but in Believe All Women, never do anything wrong to a woman.
Right.
And so I believe they use our women like a coat. Only, not all, but I believe the ones that get involved, because my thing is this, what white people showed us is that, hey, we mind our business when it comes to our own. That's his wife. She hit him first. That's their business. Because you notice, I never heard anybody say anything about any black woman hitting anybody first. The first thing they noticed when Dana White hit his wife is that, oh, she hit him first. You can see a segment where Molly and Stephen A. is up there saying there's no reason to hit a woman when it was Tank Davis. They said no.
Right.
And right after that, they said Dana White hit him first. So I'm thinking like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the rules change.
The rules change.
Yeah.
How is that?
No, you're right. You're right. It's not even.
Floyd Mayweather went to jail.
Yeah.
And we got we don't have one picture of him hitting this girl. We don't have one picture of a bruise. And I've seen Floyd Mayweather knock somebody out. But I've never seen a picture that she was bruised, and I've never seen him hit her. He went to jail for 90 days. Dana White did it on camera. Oh, that was just the first time.
I mean, the thing that's frustrating to me, and that I get a lot, and I'm gonna keep challenging different media people on this because they don't like when I keep saying this, is that you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem.
They all are the problem.
But not even the people.
No, seriously, they all are the problem. Ain't nobody giving up their financials for me or anybody else. They're going to do their job, and if that means talking about somebody they don't know in a disparaging way, they're gonna do it. They don't give a damn about no Wakanda and all that shit. They don't care nothing about that. They are definitely going to talk about you. They don't even know another way to talk about sports and things of that nature without being disrespectful. Now that Stephen A. and Skip Bayless did all this, they don't know another way. You got people that's rubbing Cheeto stains off their hand onto their shirt and sitting there farting and stinking, sitting in the chair, talking shit about athletes that can actually get up here and run for 2.5 hours. Now, if I can't do something better than you, then I'm going to say it in a way where I might say you didn't play well, or you played like shit today, because you always get another game to make it up. I played like shit before. Everybody has. It's part of the game. But when you have little dweebs and people that can't do what you do, it's a way that you're supposed to talk about it. And I think Stephen A. and Skip Bayless ruined the way we talk about sports, because now it's all barbershop talk. Guys that don't even get up and do sit-ups, getting up every day talking like as if they like that. Then they're like, I don't play basketball. Okay, well then talk about it in a way. If I couldn't read, I'm not talking shit about people that can read. I'm sorry.
So, it's so crazy. So I did this discussion with David Aldridge and Mark Spears. And after we did this, we're talking about the media, the role of the media, everything like that. We're going back and forth, we're agreeing, we're disagreeing, but it's a great discussion, right? After the discussion, Mark Spears texts me and says, hey, that was a great discussion. He tweeted it out. Let me know if you have any clips. I'll put it like it was a great discussion, right?
Somebody called him.
So then I posted something and I said about Stephen A. Smith. And I said, Stephen A. Smith has just as much power over his audience as Tucker Carlson has over his demographic. And I put a picture of both of them up. And I said, that's why they both have to be very careful with their words and they can't talk recklessly because of the amount of influence that they have. So that really actually is a compliment to Stephen A. Smith saying how much power and influence he has, right? What did Mark Spears do? He immediately deleted a tweet and then he did a tweet. He's like, I wish I would have never come on this show with Etan Thomas. I cannot, but he tweeted that out. And I was like, whoa, why did you do all of that when you just told
me? Get along, gang.
So I don't know if
let me ask you this. Did he ask you why? Did he ask you why you said that?
He didn't say anything to me. He just tweeted that out and said, I wish I would have never came on this show. And all these athletes, they have these different. I was like, whoa, bro.
Y'all see, y'all hear what Etan said? That he got that call. Old boy got that call. He had to disavow Etan. Was just on the man show. When I said it was a go along, get along game, everybody was so offended because they all think I'm my own man. I'm individual. No, you're not. You link to that guy that's linked to that guy that's linked to that guy, and all y'all scared of that guy. That's how this shit work. They looking at me like I'm crazy. They be looking at me when they see me out. Boy, Kwame done lost his mind. Boy, they gonna do this. They gonna do that. Ain't nothing gonna happen unless God let it happen. That man in real life, though, a guy that he thought was his friend, who thought that they had a rapport. I don't know if they were friends, but Etan at least thought they had a good enough rapport that he could say his own opinion and dude could say his. But no, they have alliances. They have they have groups. They have people that if this person is talking about this person, then you can't rock with that person. And regardless of the information is true or not, they don't rock with you. So now you can kind of see how my channel is being blackballed because I talk about their golden goose, which is Stephen A. And Stephen A came online saying, the people who I work for, they sit back and be like, okay, you want to talk about this person? That's my boy. That's my boy. So yeah, this shit phony. It's all phony. Why you think I'll be by myself? Because at the end of the day, they gonna all act like they with you until it's a bag on the line that they want, or either they aspire to get a job over here, or either they offer them enough money that they can't refuse it. There would never be no Wakanda and all this. Because as soon as you start believing in what somebody's saying, they ain't gonna do nothing but see who needs some money, give them a little bit of money, see who willing to accept the money to say fuck them. And that's what's gonna happen.
Just experience the go along, get along game, buddy.
But that is like, and I brought that up when I was talking to John Mitchell and everybody about it. And he said, well, ESPN, people that work for ESPN, he made this analogy that said that, Stephen A. Smith is like the golden goose and nobody can say anything about him. And he's like, he obviously probably either got a call either from ESPN or from Stephen A. Smith. And I don't doubt that at all. But just the fact that he took such a large, huge 180 and started saying, he said, I wish I would have never gone on the show. But I was like, dang.
Do you know how many times they attack? Do you know how much they attack my channels because of Stephen A? I'm telling you, Stephen A warned you. He I'm associated with some people. And if you mess with me, they'll be like, okay, he don't like you? Okay, well, F them then. He tell you out loud that there's a go along, get along game. Stephen A. Smith is big business. He makes people a lot of money. His skills of entertaining, and although it disrespect black men, it ruins other people, but somebody has to lose it for another person to win. That's life. And so Stephen A. Smith is like that. That's what he does. It's the age-old thing. Somebody has to lose. You have to catch that chicken in order to wring his neck for you to be able to survive and eat. So he don't care that he's doing that. He don't care that he's saying that he wouldn't trade Andrew.
And a lot of people don't understand when I say, in order for you to win, somebody else has to lose. The young man that came on my panel before, he was so angry because his mother was on drugs and things of that nature. And then there was another brother who came on the panel where his family was the one selling the drugs. So he has a different mindset, a different demeanor. That goat, that cow, that bison, that chicken, its life got to end. It has to lose in order for you to win, for you to survive and eat. And that goes from the worm all the way up to the insects. Every day something is losing in order for something else to dominate and win. And some people live life like that.
Wiggins for a box of cereal.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, there's no need. But this is my issue with Stephen A. Smith. You don't have to do that.
Yes, he does. He don't want basketball. What else is he going to talk about? They changed him to an entertainer because he doesn't know anything about basketball. He has to be funny. He has to joke. He has to make the common everyday man feel like they can joke on us. Look how big you are, Etan. You're a big, strong jock. Most people have a natural jealousy for big, strong, tall men. Why? Majority of women be like, ooh, when we walk in the room. So, and majority of us, we had a lot of things given to us just because, we hoop. So it's other men that they don't get that look until later on in life. They don't get people to look at them like that until they become who they become later on. We get that early, in high school. So it becomes a little bit of jealousy. So the common everyday man, now look at the two biggest sports talkers, Stephen A., Skip Bayless, two people who played a sport, did not ascend to the top. but they talk about it in a way where they gotta disrespect everybody they talk about to the utmost.
And that's my problem though, is the disrespect now becomes the fad. So like now they made it almost commonplace to disrespect athletes. And they talk bad about athletes, because then you see fans in the comment section over there in the arena like yelling different things. And I know people always heckle, that's not like a new thing. I'm not saying they invented that, but they made it very popular where every show you have, and they'll even bring former players to come on and join into that of bashing players.
I need some of damn tall people piss me off. Yeah, I think I need to do more interviews, because I think people are seeing me just curse motherfuckers out, and just because I don't just curse people out. I come over here, I do some great lives, but those lives, they don't want to hear that. They got people so caught up in politics and whether they like you or not based on whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. That can be the difference maker, whether people listen to you right there. Those people, I want them to come around, but they got to grow up first. Because I'd be damned if that got anything to do with what if I'm right or wrong. Those people got to grow up a little bit.
Not enough to just say, he didn't play well tonight. He had X amount of rebounds where he should have this amount of rebounds. Now, being critical, that's fine. That's part of that's what you're supposed to do. But what they do is make it personal, and that's the person. He has no place on the team. He should be, somewhere back in groceries because he's playing and that kind of. I'm like, why did it have to do all that?
Because that's what people want to hear. It's ratings. They don't care that they don't care you got kids. They don't care that you're gonna go. What they really doing? They're ruining the fabric of the game. You know why? They want to tout these celebrity star players. They're not going to go back to the neighborhoods and really impact the kids. The players that go back to the neighborhoods are the Royal Ivies, the Kwame Browns, the Etan Thomases, the ones that can connect with the youth still. We go back there, and now what's going to happen is now the kids are, instead of learning, they're going to be watching ESPN. Some of the kids are going to start saying things that Stephen A is saying, or the average media is saying. So how can they learn? How can they learn a craft or be inspired when you're ridiculing grown men and kids are seeing this? So it's all the system. And so AAU is suffering from it. Everybody just.
And I'll give you an example of that. Cam Newton. Cam Newton was running his 7-on-7, and there was a young man mouthing off to him on the sideline. Cam Newton ended up getting into a fight with that guy and I think somebody else. So, yeah, it's crazy. Cam got disrespected by a young man in front of everybody.
Plays like Steph Curry, step back. I don't see none of the NBA players really going back into the neighborhoods and going and give free camps. They're charging kids. They can't pay for that. I used to go back and give free camps because you're supposed to pay this game forward. Kobe Bryant, he was a student of the game. He taught other people this craft. And as a hooper, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go back and show a kid a couple of moves, whether it be your kid or someone else's kid. We have a gift, and this gift is to be shared.
It's just amazing. But you touched on it. You said it's like there's this jealousy and resentment that comes from a lot of media people and people in the media towards athletes. And any athlete can tell you that they have felt that in some way or another. It's funny because going to drive my kids to school, I listen to NBA TV sometimes, and Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine, and they're always on because they're always on the channel when we do. And Frank Isola has such a big problem with former athletes having podcasts. Like, he always talks about it. And I'm like, bro, why are you so, why do you hate that so much? Like, we're infringing on something that he's supposed to have. It's supposed to be special to them. So
it's like, Tyrese, what else do you want from me? It's like, you're already rich, you got money, you're already tall, you played in the NBA, now you're going in my podcast page.
Yeah,
I think he's right, man.
He's mad. I'm like, bro, I hope every athlete gets some podcasts and talk about, because
don't mess that man pockets up.
Man, listen. They want it to be where you have to go through them if you want to talk to the world. They want it back up because that's how it used to be. So it used to be that way where you didn't know anything about a player unless the media wrote something about him, and then that's all you knew.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's so crazy because I remember when I was with the Wizards. You remember how, especially when MJ was there, that was when, I don't know if you know this, so that was kind of like the start of when the media would be around shoot-arounds. They weren't at shoot-arounds before, but with MJ, they wanted all this access all the time. So whenever we turned around, there was media people, right? We come out of practice, we come out of the shoot-around, we get to the hotel, we get to the...
It was so much better when he left.
Yeah, and then it all left, right. But they was always around, and they would be trying to get you, tell us what you see, tell us what, tell us the inside, everything like that.
Trying to get you to slip up with this, anything.
Check this out. So it was afterwards, right? And I was looking at the war and the invasion of Iraq. And I was like, I don't like how this is happening. I was like, these little kids, I don't see the weapons of mass destruction. So I was against it, right? I went to the Washington Post and the Washington Times. I said, I want to do an article talking about why I'm against the war in Iraq. They were like, no, we can't do that.
They can't do that. Crazy, boy.
They was like, no. I went to...
Man, when Etan said that, I'm like, huh? You thought they was gonna let you do the war on Iraq? I was like, huh? I was wondering how this was gonna go out. He finna tell you what happened when he went to somebody about the war in Iraq.
I went to all the media people that was
Wait a
on
minute, what made you think you could do that? You're an NBA player.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you want that, but that they want you. So if I would have said something ignorant, they would have ran and wanted to print it like if I'd been talking about.
See, the reason why you can't do that is because you signed a contract. So the NBA at that time has your image and likeness. So if you would have said something, anything is going to be offensive because you're not going to go with the mainstream.
Right.
You're going to say something that is going to be offensive. And so you're representing the NBA. So they're not going to let you say nothing.
So check this out. So I found a little, that's where I met my guy who's my co-host now with the Collision, Dave Ziman, because he was writing for the Prince George Post. It was this little pretty place. And I saw him at an anti-death penalty rally, right? And I told him what happened. He said, oh, I'll write it. And he wrote it, and then it went everywhere. So
I was about to say, of course he gonna write it. It's gonna blow him up.
He
was like, yo, it's an NBA player that's about to talk about something like
right. So then I got a call from David Stern. And David Stern was said, just be careful. He's like, be very careful. He's like, I don't want to see any, and it wasn't anything bad. It's just he let me know we're watching you. And
He got that warning. David Stern gave him a call, gave him a nice little warning. And you didn't want no call from David Stern. David Stern like to pull contracts. He ain't trying to do no talking. He just trying to pull contracts.
to talk about something like
right. So then I got a call from David Stern. And David Stern was said, just be careful. He's like, be very careful. He's like, I don't want to see any, and it wasn't anything bad. It's just he let me know we're watching you and be careful, kind of tread lightly type of thing. And it was cool, but it just so happened.
You lucky you ain't have my background. They throw you out the league.
Well, bro, if it was, he was letting me know that if I went too far with anything, there was going to be issues.
Now, no, but listen, they would have threw you out from you got a great background. You graduated college. They can't play with you on every level. You're different. I come from the hood. My daddy in prison. It's easy for them to create some narrative about me. That's why they do it. Yeah. You know, so you're lucky. That's why I thought the first thing I said was, Etan, what made you think you could do that? You signed the contract.
It just so happened that Abe Poland called me up into his office one time. And it just so happened that I was lucky where he agreed with what I was talking about. And we had this long conversation. But if he would have disagreed, I would have been out of there immediately. Like immediately. Like if it was like whatever it is. And that's the part where people have to understand, like right now, the media wants to control the narrative about players so much, and it frustrates them that they can't because players can control their own narrative. You can go on the podcast. No, this is what happened during the game. Like
they should have had this when we all was playing.
Man, that would have been great. So
you'd have got kicked out the league though.
No, all of us would have been in trouble.
Yeah, you're right. I would have got thrown out too.
So like the way like Draymond be saying crazy stuff, but he'd be like, listen, I'll tell you what happened in the game. You know what I mean? And he tell it from his own perspective. You can either agree with it or disagree with it, but it's from him. You don't have to wait for no reporter to interpret his words and everything. I love that. I think that's
the smartest thing ever, man.
But all the media people hate it. Because
they're going to lose because guess what? Now after the game, I don't have to go hear you talk about Draymond. I'm going to go hear it from Draymond. So it's brilliant.
Why wouldn't you? Well, but I will say this though, and I said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I still feel that Stephen A. Smith, as a man, you should be able to admit where you were wrong in the past. It doesn't take away from anything that you
can. Yes, it does.
Wait. Let me say. It doesn't mean that you will get any less time on ESPN, that people will look at you any differently. You can say, I was wrong with how I did Kwame Brown. I was wrong with how I did Kyrie Irving. I was wrong with how, and people would respect you more for it. Like that's what you don't understand.
He would get fired instantly.
Everybody knows that he was wrong with how he did you.
He will get fired instantly, and they can never say sorry. The whole purpose of a guy who's not really the guy he is, because Stephen A. is a nobody in real life. Skip Bayless was a nobody. They built these people into who they are. When you say, I can get online and say outlandish things every day, and the society will just come and watch. That's just the way of the world. So that's what Skip Bayless and Stephen A. did. So they were built up to be this. They are nobody. So, but he cannot apologize because he has to have this mystique that he's above you. If he apologized, then other people might want an apology. And then he looks off. He has to come out and double down. What did he do when I called him out? He came out, doubled down, played the same distasteful video. And then people was like, oh, I really see it now. But then he got quiet because he knows most people got 1 week of their attention span. They're like, just get quiet, don't say nothing else to him. And everybody forgot about it. He needs to understand that people who man up and admit their mistakes are respected more. That is not the type of man that care about respect. He want money. Listen. Me and Javaris went and had a great experience this whole weekend. We spoke at 2 correctional facilities, spoke at a youth program at my church, First Baptist of Glen Arden. Shout out to Pastor Jenkins. We had a great experience, Bus Boys and Poets. And one of the things that we kept hearing, and the people were like the young people, everything like that, they were saying, we respect y'all because you admit your mistakes. Mm-hmm. Jarvis, he didn't say like, hey, I was done wrong, they did me wrong, and this. He said, first off, I handled the situation incorrectly. First and foremost, that's how he started it.
You know what I mean? And from that point, he had their attention. And that's what I'm saying with Stephen A. Smith. People will respect you more if you admit your mistakes, not when you're forced to admit your mistakes. Like, so when you what was the case with a white lady from ESPN? They got mad at him when he said something. It was something about domestic, and then he was forced to apologize. That makes you look weak. You know what I mean? Because you looked weak because you know. But when you put it upon yourself to say I was wrong in something that you know and everybody knows, ain't nobody trying to get you to force you to apologize to Kwame Brown or Kyrie Irving or something like that. Nobody forcing you to do that. But you can honestly say, listen, I could have handled that situation better. You know what I mean? I was looking at this and whatever, but start off with an apology. And that's what I urge him to look into himself, to man up and be able to say when he's wrong. Everybody makes mistakes.
Well, let me ask you this. If he does that, but Etan, if he does that, then the person who paid him the money, because he didn't go to that college or that high school for free. So then the person who paid the money is going to feel some sort of accountability. So who paid him to go to those colleges and high schools? And like, what did they learn? I know you do public speaking, and you're a college grad, you have experience, so they're going to learn something from you. Yeah. What did those kids learn from Stephen A. by saying? Because we got to ask the who, the why, the what, the when.
Right.
What did they gain out of Stephen A. telling them how bad of a player I was?
That's true. You're right. No, you're right.
And who paid for that?
You're right.
That's the real issue. So he's never going to admit it because he's going to implicate everybody who had a hand in whatever they did.
That's whack. That's whack. That's what I say.
This guy got paid speaking engagements and ran like he turned into like a stand-up comedian on Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, yeah. That's crazy. But then
the head guy at ESPN First Take. Yeah. So that's how you condition. That's how he was doing that to high schoolers and college kids, right? So now it's 20 years later, when Gilbert Arenas say anything, those kids still remember Stephen A. coming to their high schools and their colleges. They still remember laughing. So anything Kwame Brown says, we just remember him as a bust. I'm like, how old are you? Like, how do you know how even played?
Right.
Like, it makes sense, the brainwashing that he did to these kids.
Yeah, that makes it even more. That's like, it might not even be something that he believes. He was just paid to say it. So he did it. And that's, all money is not good money. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, it's the media has so much power in being able to shape, that's what Malcolm X said a long time ago. He called media the most powerful entity in the world because they have the ability to shape the minds of the masses. So right now, you know what I mean? So I have the shirt on, pay us with yours. Right now, the media is showing WNBA players like they're completely insane and like out of their minds to not take the deal that the WNBA so graciously gave them. And it's a monetary amount that they would at least be guaranteed this amount. And I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, but what they said was they wanted to grow with the league, whatever that percent. So they wanted percentage. It wasn't about the amount. So basically what you wanted to do was to give them in advance and not give them no royalties. Like you don't want them to grow with the league. You know that the league is going to grow. You know that if the league was not going to grow, you would not be expanding for new teams. That's not the way that it works. So you know that the TV deals that are going to come down the road. You know that they spend. You know where it's going. And grow with it. Mm-hmm. But the media is shaping it to where the WNBA players are ridiculous for not taking this deal. They're getting this much more money. They wanted more money. Not without explaining all the other part. And that's where I just want to encourage people to look deeper. When you see a media person or the media do a hit job of really trying to denigrate someone like a Kwame Brown, you got to ask questions.
Somebody's paying for that.
Yes. What do they gain out of demonizing this person the way that they are?
Yeah.
And there's always a reason. It always comes down to this. That's what it always.
They're coming out with a documentary about me at the start of the year. It's like the first documentary from Gilbert Arenas, a little employee from Underdog.
Wait, you said they're coming out with a documentary about you?
Yeah. Another smear campaign piece. I think Gilbert's paying for it. I don't know. He works for Underdog though, but Gilbert, this is how Gilbert works. He says, "Oh, it's over. I'm not going to get involved." The guy that does his edits, the guy that works for Underdog, he's the one doing the hit piece.
It's interesting because right after me and Jabari spoke at Unashamed, the youth group was called Unashamed at my church, right? Mm-hmm. There was a brother that came to me and he said, "Hey, I saw what you was trying to do to get your teammates to get back together and like to not, have any kind of quarreling and going back and forth and everything like that." He said, I like the part that Kwame, and he said that it wasn't a beef because it wasn't something that he was feeling towards him. It was the other way around. And he was like that Gilbert is the one. So he broke all that down. And I was like, he was like, I appreciate you trying to do it. And he was like, don't give up on it. I was like, I don't know. I think that's ship has sailed. He was like, no. He's like, because the image of it, he talked about when Magic and Isaiah sat down. And then he said, I want you to try to think about doing something with MJ and Isaiah Thomas. And I was like, what you want me to do? Turn water into wine next?
Those two hate each other, boy.
That's a lot to try to do. So then I was at Wegmans and this lady, Miss Gwendolyn, stopped me and she said the same exact thing. She was watching. She was like, no, that's good. I'm glad that Kwame said that he was willing to do it. He said, because young people saw that and they were very impressed with Kwame. But then they looked over and saw Gilbert, obviously not stopping because he's making video after video after video saying this, talking about this, making jokes and all that stuff. She was like, you did what you was trying to do was admirable. And she said, maybe it just isn't time to do that right now, but maybe later on.
It's never going to stop. I'm telling you, you got to go back and look at the views that Stephen A., Skip Bayless, and Will Bond got for 20 years from talking about me. You got to go look back at the views. It's too much money in not talking about my name. I'm going to be mentioned by some media person in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I think Gilbert Arenas is going to have me on a cycle. He has bots, I believe, and fake views, I believe. And then what he does is he keeps me in the algorithm with his shorts. Everything Gilbert Arenas is now attached to Kwame Brown. If you look up his net worth and if you look up Gilbert's net worth, it's going to be matched with Kwame Brown. They matched him with that. They matched him on Google. You type in my name, Gilbert Arenas comes up, and vice versa. So he just mirroring himself to me. If you go look at his page, like the people told you, he ran shorts. Now he's about to have his editor do a documentary that they're going to release. Then when everybody else see that, he'll find a way to come back out and start talking about me again. He makes too much money off of it now.
But that's the thing. How much more powerful would it be, even if you wanted to try to monetize this? How much more powerful would it be? You tell me. To monetize the opposite, where you guys are like, because people talk about that Magic and Isaiah thing, and that happened a long time ago. Like that was a powerful moment in sports history. You know what I mean? I look at it and I say, y'all could be the modern day of that powerful moment because everybody knows. Like if you can want to monetize something, you can monetize that, and everybody, even the people who aren't even that interested in basketball, would look at that and be proud of the image.
I think people should look at it like this. I'm insulted that they think that I should get with Gilbert Arenas, and here's why. Okay. Gilbert Arenas is everything I'm not. Gilbert Arenas Gilbert Arenas thinks he's better than people. Gilbert Arenas came to pre-draft camp in front of everybody and said he wanted to be an international pimp. I worked since I was 14. I have purpose behind me. I have a breaking of a legacy of going to prison and all that behind me. I'm not a playful guy like Gilbert. I don't look at life like everything is a joke. And so it's not beef for me. Gilbert just knows I'm everything he's not. I'm a real serious person. In real life, I get respect because of my hard work and things that I put in and things that I've overcome. Gilbert has gone through life being a silly kid, being able to get away with everything because he plays basketball. I don't have gun charges in college. I haven't done all the things this guy's done. I haven't locked Richard Jefferson in a car and played porno. I haven't brought P. Diddy to a party to be an all-star. I haven't done all these silly, dumb things. I don't plank in bathrooms. I don't do all the weird stuff. So I don't even like my name associated with Gilbert Arenas. I would never do cornball stuff like bring a gun to a locker room and put it on a chair. A gun is nothing to play with. It's a weapon to it can be a paperweight or it can unalive someone. So I don't play like him. So I don't want to be associated to a guy that just played. That's why most people in the NBA, including the Wizards, did not even deal with Gilbert until he started going back and forth with me. So every facet of Gilbert Arenas' life got better when he started going back and forth with me. They invited Gilbert back into the Wizards because I said on camera, the Wizards don't know how to run an organization. And they allowed Eddie Grunfeld to ruin their organization. And they wanted to trade me for Elton Brand. So they started running negative stories about their product. I didn't have small hands. I had broken hands because the guy I knocked out for hitting me in a nightclub. So instead of telling the real story, they tell all these lies and run these smear campaigns. But I don't worry about things like that because in real life, that's why I keep telling people, in real life, though, I'm good. You know, God is going to rewrite the story for me. And ever since I've been opening my mouth and people have been listening, they've been seeing this is nothing but God's work. Gilbert Arenas has been placed on me like another Stephen A. Smith. For another black man that hadn't been around me for 20 years to just come out and say, oh, he's drunk, he's drinking, he's beating a woman, he's doing this. I don't play like that. So I don't want to be associated to.
Yeah, man. I said black and I apologize. He's Cuban. He's Cuban, so I apologize.
Me. And ever since I've been opening my mouth and people have been listening, they've been seeing this is nothing but God's work. Gilbert Arenas has been placed on me like another Stephen A. Smith. For another black man that hadn't been around me for 20 years to just come out and say, oh, he's drunk, he's drinking, he's beating a woman, he's doing this. I don't play like that. So I don't want to be associated to a clown like that. So for people not to really see that this guy always says the worst things about Kwame, this is something deeper than that. They don't need to become together. Kwame needs to stay far away from that guy. There's some sort of jealousy. There's some sort of something. The guy said he wanted to put a pistol in my throat. I don't want to come around somebody that takes something like that. Over what? We've been on the internet. You come online and say, I want to put a pistol to your throat. Really? Yeah. And I got family members that really love me. That got time behind their name that you've been traveling all over the world, going to these little big threes. And you see, he's a basketball player and he pop guns and say things like that. But all of my family ain't basketball players. And so the society will let him get away with saying that. And instead of checking him, instead of everybody saying, yo, bro, you just threatened this black man for no reason. Instead of people saying that, they want to fake it like that didn't happen and say, Kwame, just come by out. No,
Yeah, see, they don't like me because I don't accept the bullshit. After you get wrong, I stomp that shit down. I don't want to accept sorry. I don't want to hear none of that shit because you shouldn't have came like that. Charleston White thought that. Not going to happen. I don't do the cornball shit. If it's up, then it's stuck, and it's up, then it's stuck. Leave it right there where it's at. It don't got to go nowhere. We ain't got to do nothing unless it's a genuine situation. Me and Stack, we don't have no problem because we have two people we have a person that appreciate both of us in AI, and know that Jack is a serious person in his own right himself in real life. Jack got people around him that are real serious people. Jack and his people can move some things. Ain't nobody saying they can't. They definitely can. So, and I'm the same way. I come by myself most of the time because the people I know, they don't need to be with me all the time. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. But at the same time, we got to get back to, why do you got to disrespect somebody in that way and then think somebody's supposed to come talk to you after that? No, it's fuck you after that. That's my training. That's how I grew up. It's fuck you. It don't got to be nothing else after that because we ain't touch each other. Ain't nobody hurt nobody. Ain't nobody die. So it could be just fuck you, fuck me. And that's it. But a lot of these people, they don't know how. They're not mature enough to do that. They got to go somewhere else.
Training says I watch him closely. My training don't say have a man threaten me and then I go do a podcast with him. I'm from the hood for real. I don't never let somebody threaten me and I go hang out with them. That ain't how I work.
I think that what even, and I don't want to equate him to Stephen A. Smith, but I will say that I think that when I said people would respect Stephen A. Smith more if he admitted when he was wrong and like said, okay, listen, I was wrong when I did X, Y, and Z. Because I keep hearing from when we did our interview before, people saying that about you, that they respect the fact that you said, okay, I might have gone a little bit far with this, but it was in reaction to what he said with this, but I did go a little bit far. I can admit that. Just you saying, it was a quick little line that you said, right? But people don't understand. There's nothing weak about admitting when you was wrong with something. And that's what I would tell Gilbert, and I would tell Stephen A. Smith. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying that, like, people would respect you more. And you have a group. I'm talking to Gilbert. You have a group that's going to cheer everything that you do, no matter what it is. And you have a large demographic of people that will do that. And you have that. But you got to have some people that say, hey, you was wrong right here. You know what I mean? Like this.
That's why I don't want to come around that. Like, I'm not in that fake world. I done been punched in the face before, and I hang around people that still punch me in the face, so I don't lose sight of reality. And he loses sight of reality too much for me. Like, and people around him do too. And instead of everybody saying he went on the Pivot podcast, they supposed to be Pivot. Nobody said, yo, you were wrong for saying you was gonna put a gun to this man's throat. Like, what are you talking about? What if one of my brothers would have unalived him for saying that?
Right.
See, a lot of things the tongue is mightier than the sword, and you're saying things that can invoke other reactions. And so instead of someone being honest about what they heard him say, they interpret everything as a game or fake beef and all this. I was a man on YouTube just talking. To have another teammate come out and start threatening me that I know and ain't even like that.
Right.
So what is he really saying? He's really saying he would get one of his boys to try to do something. Now, in real life, over some internet stuff, you guys were talking and playing with my name on a podcast, and then you're going to let that spill over in real life because you can't leave a person the fuck alone? All I ever ask is be left alone, regardless of whether somebody say I should get with somebody or not. I have a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If I want to be left alone, then we should leave well enough alone. And I'm saying I don't think Gilbert's maturity level is to the point to where he should be around me. I'm not going to be made to look like Nick Young and Kenyon Mark, to where Nick orchestrate them to damn near look like they're about to fight on a podcast for views. I'm not going to do that. I'm talented enough to sit here and run my mouth by myself and get the views. And he knows that. That's why he's so into me. He came online and said, I studied him for 2 years. Why are you studying me? You get online and say you study me, and then you turn around and say, I'm a drunk, I'm a dummy, I'm a bust, I'm a deadbeat, I got your son. The man is texting my son. So before you try to provoke me to hurt you, I just stay away from you. Because I know this type, he's a provoker.
I just don't understand the reason, like when we talk about with Stephen A. Smith, like it's something deeper. Like I don't understand the reason of why, you know what I mean? Like it should, first of all, that was 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Like what we're talking about with stuff, we were teammates. That was 20, we old now. Like we old.
So why you think I don't want to be around somebody that'll get on my nerves? My old bones, my arthritic bones will hurt somebody playing with me all day. Like I don't feel like playing all day. Yeah. You know, I play a little bit. I get up here, play a joke, and then I got serious stuff I need to do.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And I understand that too, though. You know what I mean? But I want to hear, this is the last thing I'll ask you, though. I kept it for an hour. We try not to keep it too long. We be talking. But I want to hear about the book.
It's like being in the locker room.
We just be chopping it up. Well, I want to hear about the book. Because I've been telling this man for how long about you need to write a book. You know what I mean? I was like, you should have been. I told Javaris too. I was like, Javaris, you need to write your book. Like there's, you know, and you use that, you know, to help young people. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing. But tell everybody about your book if you want to. If you want to, tell him. I want to know about what you got coming up with your book.
It's like I've been writing for the whole time, 2 books in one. Because it's like I have a life before basketball, but everybody only want to talk about basketball. So it's like at first I started off writing about the book, and then it would go off into my life before basketball, and I used to erase all of it. I'd be like, man, I'd write like 40 pages. And I'm like, I don't like none of it. It's going into like my life instead of basketball. And so she was like, why are you erasing any of this stuff?
Right.
Just write it all out. I don't care if it's 2 books. Just write it all out. And when you're done writing out everything you think about writing, then we'll fix it and mash it all together, or we'll make it into 2 books. So that's what I think is going to happen. It's like a mashup between my life prior to basketball. I'm talking about inspirational stories that can help kids that's in similar situations that I was in. Like, I really grew up in a house where my brothers were selling drugs. Like, really, I got stories of the police kicking in the door at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we barely making it to the school bus. And they tear up the washing machine. So 3 or 4 days, you trying to wash clothes with your hand and hang it up on the line. So this is your #1 draft pick. So don't look at me as he don't know what he's talking about. He ain't like us. No, I became the #1 draft pick in the same conditions that any other kid that grew up in America from the hood was in. I've been shot at prior to the NBA. I've been jumped 1,000 times. I've seen guns put in my mama back of her head. All types of things that your #1 draft pick that I turned into, all of those things went on while I was still focused on my why. So I don't like to really hear excuses. I can understand. I always tell kids, I understand. Trust me, I got a story too. So I understand, but are you still working on that why? Because if you letting this stop you from working on that why, then that ain't the problem. It's you.
Right.
Because things are going to happen around you. Everybody got a story. If you sit down and talk to everybody, any person, it may not be as bad as yours, but everybody got something that they could have went left and went wrong. But some people's are just, it's so much stuff. So I get it. But mine was a lot. And if I can get through the #1 draft pick by still focusing on that why, then I always tell kids, you got to grab a why, grab a goal, focus on it. And anytime something happens around you, always remember that why, because that's your center. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing because I got that why in spite of that. Because a lot of times these kids get so emotional. But this, I can't do it because of that. And I should be like, yeah, you need to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, boy, at these goddamn high schools and college, these high schools now, the little girls go wild and hyperventilate. The little boys are like, I say, God, how are you this emotional? Nigga, you done ate breakfast. It's free. What are you so mad about? Hey, I can't even hear you. Calm the fuck down. Calm down. I'm moving my chair down. They're gonna say I'm passing gas. You know, that's what they said the last time. These clowns that watch me. He said I passed gas. Let me move this stuff off the table. We are now going to enter into the part of the show to where we go over the Lakers game. We are about to break down and discuss this Laker game. So hold up. Big swole up. Let me slide my tape in front of this television. Not dropping anything. You said it, baby. All right. Excuse me. Let me get my pen. Let me get me a chair and some Wi-Fi. But shout out to Etan, man. Salute to you. Shout out to you. Oh, I forgot to take some time out of that. Now, let me get this chart. This charge will seem strong enough to keep this thing charged, but it's strong enough to keep it on. It's strong enough to keep it going. Oh, shucks. Man, this cold kicking my behind. All right, we can see that. Closer, back, closer, farther away. Is that good enough, or do we need to get closer to it? Closer or no? Closer, okay. Hold up, let me move it. All right. That should be good. Go a little bit further. I'm gonna hit the damn thing. All right, that should be good right there. All right. Yeah, let's go through this game. This ain't the actual game yet. This is well, it's the game, but it's somebody going over the call. The original channel is Commissioner Dino. What? Dynamo. Man, I'm fucked up right now. I can't even read. All right. We got one-on-one basketball, Marcus Smart. Nobody stunned. I don't know what's going on with LeBron and Dylan Brooks. But LeBron is taking a lot of shoving from Dylan Brooks right here. He does not like LeBron, and he makes it very well known. Almost like he tries to punk LeBron. And LeBron doesn't necessarily, LeBron got it. I mean, it's year 23, so he ain't going to hit nobody in the mouth. But, yeah, I mean, this is a lot. Watch Dylan Brooks go after LeBron this entire play. Excuse me. Look at. Even after the ball goes in, Dylan Brooks is hitting LeBron. Now, LeBron is okay with bullying number 12. Nice turnaround. And he should be able to do this on everybody. He gets this glow in his eye when it's against these smaller guys, but when it's somebody like Dylan Brooks, he always looking for a switch for a smaller person, which you're supposed to try to take advantage. But if he's that much of a dominant scorer, he should be able to score on anybody. Nice shot by Etan. I don't know what the hell that number 15 was doing in the paint. I don't know why. Etan has proven he can hit that shot. Nice pass. All right, we got pick and roll. Luka rejects the screen. He's not 42. He's 41. Luka rejects the screen. So now it becomes a down pick. This was a foul. As you can see, LeBron ran through it, fouled Dylan Brooks. This was a foul. They didn't call it. So let's keep going. He made the shot, but that should have been an and one. That right here, that's a foul. Dylan Brooks got the guy back. This referee, I don't know what's wrong with this referee. I don't know if he can't see or not, but his eyes are laser focused on what's going on. So he see a guy knocked into the man, but he chose not to do anything. That's a foul if I ever seen one. So Dylan Brooks should have shot an extra one on the other one, and Luka should have shot free throws on this one. Luka hit that one. Luka mad. All right, Etan should have jumped out to me. This is a perfect time. Like, I don't understand why these defenses are so soft. This, to me, is the perfect time and where a guy coming off like that, this is the perfect time for the big to step out and keep his ass on that baseline and trap him. He won't even be able to make that pass. Jake LaRavia is here. Luka, the only problem is Luka is not a very good defender, but Luka is supposed to be over here 2-9 in case this guy rolled. So Luka come about right here in 2-9. This guy roll, Luka take the roll, man. But that trap should be so intense on this side from Rudy Hachimura and Etan that he shouldn't even be able to see a good pass. He shouldn't even be able to see a good pass. But Aiden is standing there. So now you have a guard who has to fight through a pick and roll. He fought through a pick. This guy's rolling. Aiden did not move. He's standing there. Hachimura is right here. Look how much distance in between this guy and the shot. Let's see what happens. You know, it's probably going to be more like this. It's probably going to be more like that. It's a lot of room. Book up. Book up. Luka does a great job. If you in drop coverage, you good as dead. Luka does he does everything right in the pick and roll. He knows how to be patient. He knows how to cross the defense up. Luka Doncic does everything right in the pick and roll. That right there should have got LeBron ejected. LeBron reached around his teammate to grab this guy. That right there is enough to get LeBron James not arrested, but thrown out of the game. Anytime a player makes contact with a referee, they get thrown out of the game. No excuses. No one is exempt from that rule. You have to abide by that rule because these refs' safety is on the line. We are big, strong athletes. As soon as we get out of control, in no sport can you touch the referee. Not one sport are you allowed to put your hands on the referee. LeBron jacked this guy up. There's so much so J.J. Redick and everybody tried to save him. Rudy Hachimura tried to save him. LeBron pushed through everybody to make sure this referee know. I thought LeBron was going to whip his ass, but he did not get thrown out the game, and that's weird to me. Excuse me. Look at that. Put his hands on him right there first. Put him there again. Look at that. Brian got his hands all over this guy. The guy is so scared. LeBron started off touching him. Look at that. Hand on him right there. Grabbing him right there. The ref is trying to hold LeBron off. That's how much LeBron is on this referee. This is the first time I ever seen this. Grabbing that ref, impeding his progress, grabbing him, telling him. The ref saying, he all right. Look at that. He grabbed him and stopped him again. Look at that. Motherfucking bullshit. Look at him. That is crazy. That is nuts. J.J. Redick had to try to grab LeBron's arm. Everybody holding this grown-ass child. Is he 41 or is he 2? This grown-ass, overgrown child that's scared to do something to Dylan Brooks, that now he want to beat up a little short referee. He want to beat up a short referee because Dylan Brooks is bumping into him and pushing him and punking him. He want to grab a referee instead of grabbing Dylan Brooks. If any other NBA player did that, it would be police escort out of the game. That's a fact. And this is what's wrong with our game. This is a spoiled-ass little child that they've been telling he's the greatest thing since the chosen one since 18. And now this big overgrown 41-year-old little kid has to be restrained by his white coach because he's pushing past Rudy Hachimura. And he has to be held by the coach. Do you know how stupid this looks? The leader of the team has to be restrained by the coach. It looked like he about to swing on the referee in year 23. And I know people are drawing MJ comparisons. MJ never touched a referee like this. He barely bumped into a referee. He was thrown out the game. This right here is LeBron grabbing this dude under his armpit.
He ain't got no problem. He ain't got no buck for Dylan Brooks. Now, Dylan Brooks, this was a dumbass move. Do I think you should have got thrown out the game? LeBron flopped a little bit, but most people will. But LeBron, I think you should have had some smoke for Dylan Brooks. You got smoke for all the refs? No smoke for Dylan Brooks. Man, just come punk you. You begging for the referee. He went flying out of bounds from a chest bump. Look at it. This the king. Your chest bump him, he go flying. Dylan Brooks get ejected. LeBron James doesn't. Hold on. Luka passed the ball to LeBron. This ref is not even in position to make this call. LeBron does not get touched. Dylan Brooks, not Dylan Brooks, but Booker is right here on LeBron. Booker's hands are right here. He swiped at the ball. He missed it. This ref can't even see what's going on. But that's the one LeBron choked up and grabbed. That's the one that LeBron told him he was fucking up. He don't want to miss out on another LeBron James game. So watch what he does. LeBron shoots. He kicks his leg. He gives a foul. No foul when LeBron James ran the guy over. That was a 3. This lady should have made that call. She had the position to make that call. This lady right here. This other lady had the position to make this call. Right here. This is the referee that's looking right at it. This is her call to make. The league should investigate this. Seriously. This is her call to make. Her vision is right there on Devin Booker's hands and everything. She got the vision to see. Not nobody else. This guy is on the backside. He can't see no arms and legs. All he's doing is looking at LeBron flaring up and flopping. I didn't see her call anything. He called it. Let's see. Wait a minute. She might have did call it. Wait a minute. Let me go back. I stand corrected. Let me see. I thought he called it first during game time, and then she raised her hand. From right here, I can't tell who called it. I think he called it. Let's see who started talking first. She had to have called it then. She started talking first. She called it. That's crazy. Hey, I like this part. He's like, let me go back to my happy place. Look at LeBron choking him up. What God, dog. That's crazy. I think Braun would have slapped him. Yeah, I thought he called the foul, to be honest. Look, this dude slapped the ball up the street. He just threw the ball, wasn't even looking at the referee. Watch what he get. Watch what happened to him. Get the fuck on up out of here. He get a text from the bench.
He just cursed. He get ejected. Get ejected.
Basketball under Rubik's Cube rules. I've said all of these things at 1, 2, 3,000 times or another. You're hoping.
All right, let me go to this other one I watched. Man, my nose is hurting. Let's say Shaq banged his friend girl. Mm.
I don't know where you're going with this one to start, but let's just start with the free throws.
Oh, this ain't it. I gotta find out which one I was looking at.
You missed the first one. Make the next two. What was going on through your mind?
I watched two Raw already.
2 seconds ago, so we didn't know after they challenged it, lost the challenge, they had no more time off. So they knew no matter what, we knew no matter what, that they were coming right at us. So supposed to make them and they get stuff.
You and Dylan Brooks have had some run-ins.
Oh, God. We found my phone. Let me go find my phone. Hold on, people. All right, I found it.
In the past, and it happened again. Do you embrace that edge? What do you think of his approach when he plays your teams in particular?
He's ready to compete. If he's gonna compete, I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna get up in each other's face.
He got up in your face.
Trying not to go borderline with it. You know, I don't really take it there. But we just compete, you know, and it's in again.
12.2 seconds left after he had to go 3. You guys chest to chest.
Anything? Duncan didn't do anything. Rashid.
This is on the basketball show. Fair use.
What's going on, everybody? I want to follow up on my last video because the response to it has been overwhelming, to say the least. And more importantly, because a lot of you brought up historical examples that make the situation harder to ignore and explain. This isn't about emotions. This isn't about hating LeBron James, and this isn't about a bad call. This is about standards that the NBA represents and wants us to see. Because if the NBA is going to say the rules are the rules, then these rules have to apply to everyone, especially the biggest star in the league. Now, in the last video, we saw LeBron James not only scream at the referee, but physically grab the referee's arm and shove him back towards himself as the official tried to walk away. And he stayed in the game. He didn't get a technical for it. He didn't get ejected for it. He didn't get any kind of penalty for it at all. Now, some people responded by saying stars have always gotten leeway. That sounds good until you actually look at the history in these kinds of situations. Because what LeBron did in that moment was more severe than what got Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, and Rasheed Wallace ejected from games. And that's not opinion. That's documented fact. So let's go through it. Now, let's start with Michael Jordan. This happened in a Bulls Jazz game that went to triple overtime. With 0.5 seconds remaining, Jordan was called for a foul he clearly disagreed with. He argued the call. He showed frustration. At one point, Jordan lightly bumped the referee, not grabbed, not restrained, not pulled, just incidental contact in the heat of the moment. And what happened? Jordan was ejected. Now, let me repeat that. A triple overtime game, less than 1 second left. Michael Jordan, the face of the NBA, was thrown out. And here's the key part. Jordan never grabbed the referee. He never prevented the official from walking away. Yet the standard was enforced. Okay, so look at this situation. This is pretty much after Michael Jordan fouled a Jazz player in a triple overtime game. Okay, going after him, screaming at the ref, lightly bumps him here, incidentally, and gets tossed. The league didn't protect him. The refs didn't hesitate, and the rule was the rule. Now let's talk about Tim Duncan, one of the most respectful, quiet, low-maintenance superstars the NBA has ever had. In 2007, during a playoff game against the Dallas Mavericks, Duncan was on the bench after what he and others felt were bad foul calls from his teammates. He didn't scream, he didn't argue. He didn't even leave the bench. You know what he did? He laughed. That's it. And for laughing on the bench, Tim Duncan was assessed 2 technical fouls in quick succession and ejected from the game. This wasn't some emotional confrontation. And this wasn't even contact. This wasn't intimidation. The guy wasn't even in the freaking game. It was laughter he laughed at a call. Tim Duncan doesn't even know what the hell happened. He didn't even say anything directly to the ref. He was just laughing at a call he made. Okay? So this is another situation. He's laughing at a second call, and the referee comes up to him, points at him, another technical thrown out. Now, if you're keeping score at home, so no yelling, got a guy ejected, no touching, got a guy ejected, and no confrontation, got a guy ejected. That was the standard. Now let's go to Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace was known for his intensity. Yes, but in a particular moment, he did nothing except look at a referee. No words, no gestures, no movement towards the official. He literally just stared. And for that stare, Rasheed Wallace was ejected from the game. Now here's another instance of Rasheed Wallace. Yes, he is talking to the referee. I can understand him getting the technical if he said something wrong. And Rasheed Wallace receives a technical foul. He's kind of surprised, but it's Rasheed Wallace. I mean, his mouth was big. He was talking. He received a technical foul. On this one, I'm fine. Here, he didn't even say nothing. He just walked up to the ref, and then he backed away, just staring at him. And he gets tossed from the game. So that's kind of insane to me. Looking at a ref got you thrown out. Not grabbing, not rude.
Yeah, they want to make sure they control Rasheed and his team. They made sure they controlled the narrative with Rasheed and his team.
Straining, not yelling inches from their face, just looking. Let's bring it back to what just happened. LeBron James yelled at the referee, followed the referee as he tried to walk away, grabbed the referee's arm and shoved him to turn him back around to himself because he was still talking to him. Had to be physically pulled away by his own teammate. And what was the result? Completely nothing. There was a technical foul, but that was for the altercation with Dylan Brooks. Nothing to do with the referee. For that, there was no technical, no ejection, no fine announced, no review. This isn't interpretation. This isn't hindsight. By the rule book, initiating physical contact with an official is an automatic ejection. Jordan didn't do anything. Duncan didn't do anything. Rasheed Wallace didn't really do anything compared to what LeBron did. And he stayed in the game. This is where some people get uncomfortable because the argument isn't about LeBron's career. LeBron James' play and achievements are what they are. They're not in question here. What is in question, though, is whether the league enforces the same standards on him that it enforced on legends before him. Because when Jordan gets ejected in triple overtime, Duncan gets ejected for laughing, Rasheed Wallace gets ejected for staring, but LeBron can physically grab a referee, shove him with no consequence. That's not star treatment. That's preferential protection. And the league doesn't help itself by pretending fans didn't notice. Just to underline how inconsistent this is, the message being sent by the NBA after Dylan Brooks bumped LeBron James after he fouled him on a three-point attempt in the end of the game is this: you touch LeBron, you're gone. LeBron grabs the referee, no problem, keeps playing. That's a terrible precedent. Now, LeBron actually fouled Brooks on a three-point attempt yesterday, and the refs didn't call it again, protecting LeBron and the Lakers, who's on video seen literally running through Brooks while he's taking a shot. Referees didn't call the foul, and that will most likely cost the Lakers the game. But they protected LeBron, and they protected the Lakers, and ejected Dylan Brooks for protesting him. This isn't about wanting LeBron punished. It's about wanting consistency, which we haven't seen in the NBA for a very long time right now. If the league wants respect for its officials and for the game and for the league in general, and the biggest star has to be held to the highest standard, not the lowest.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. That's the new wave of the world. Is that the biggest star get treated with kitten gloves and everybody else got a mind. The biggest star get treated with kitten gloves, everybody else got a mind. So that's the way it is. Yeah, that's the way it is. And if you don't understand it, you a hater. Yeah, you just a hater. You know? Let's see. I want to show you a couple of defensive plays.
Rolling down the floor, down. Cross up to 33.
That's the wrong game. And turn this thing down. First of all, why is Austin Reeves out? They ain't even saying why Austin Reeves out. But I bet you we all can kind of guess why Austin Reeves is out. Boy, the league funny, man. Austin Reeves, they gonna bring Austin Reeves back. They faking an injury or something for Austin Reeves, or either they're trying to work on a trade. Because if I'm Austin Reeves, I'm not trying to play and get hurt. If I'm Austin Reeves, I'm sitting out to be traded. Y'all don't want me? Fuck y'all. Austin Reeves' back is hurting? Excuse me. Austin Reeves' back is hurting now or whatever. And then he can go on to the next team and get his money. Yeah, that's what they always say. Calf strain, stuff that you can't prove. That'll sit you out 2 to 3 weeks. Calf strain, hamstring pull. Calf strain will put you out 2 to 3 weeks. That's enough time for his agent to work on a deal. I wouldn't be surprised if Luka is traded, or they say they working him back in the starting lineup. And I think that's what 2 Raw TV was saying. I agree with that part. It's either he's going to come off the bench, they're going to work him in off the bench, but I really believe Austin Reeves is about to try to get traded because my boy Cino said it, and I actually kind of believe it. That's what I would do. You want to take me out of the starting lineup? I'm telling my agent, man, do what you got to do to get me a deal. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get the hell on up out of here. Since they don't want my services, let me go to somebody else that can better use my services. You know, that's what I would be saying. The man didn't do nothing wrong. He held it down. And that's the thanks he get for holding it down. You're out. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's steady hitting LeBron. Let's go to some of the late game stuff. Oh, Luka. Get your ass back, LeBron. LeBron get bumped. This is a problem right here. LeBron always giving up. Look how patient Luka is with the basketball. Now here come LeBron. They're going to switch the play. Throw it up. LeBron flopped because the dude did a swim move and get around him. LeBron can't never just hustle. So let's watch LeBron. He's steady trying to complain. Is he going to get back? Does this look like a dead sprint? Does this look like somebody trying to win a basketball game? Who is this? Aiden, barely moving. LeBron is stuck in the goddamn mud. LeBron is stuck in the mud. He can't even move. So here we go. This is where the Lakers already had enough offense. So I always watch them on defense. And this is why they're going to lose. Look at LeBron. Look at LeBron. Got the ball stolen. Can't catch up to a center. Look at LeBron. He already pulling up, standing straight up. Who is he running to? Look at LeBron. Still ain't cross half court. One of the fastest guys with the ball on his hand. The layup is happening. LeBron still ain't cross half court yet. And they wonder why they lose. Yeah, they won because the referees bailed them out. They're not going to bail them out against OKC and one of the other teams. Good screen by Aiden. Ball swung by Smart. Smart swing. Nice corner shot. Good ball movement. LeBron has the ball he's backing down from the three-point line. See, when LeBron see these little short white boys, he get excited. You know why? That's who he work out against. And if you watch LeBron workout tape, he working out against these little short white guys. So he can get all the shots off. Oh, that was a travel. Look at LeBron looking at the ref. Let's see if LeBron get back, because LeBron's biggest problem, and this is why they lose. If Dylan Brooks didn't bump into LeBron at the end of that game, they might have lost that game. Dylan Brooks was an idiot on that part. He shouldn't have did that. Am I saying Dylan Brooks is an idiot at all times? No, I like Dylan Brooks. But on that particular play, he cost them the game. Let's see if LeBron get back, though. He had 8 turnovers. And this is where the Lakers lose, because when LeBron turned the ball over, he don't give a damn. Look at him. Every time he turns the ball over, he expects his teammates to bail him out. He's not getting faster. He's getting out of the frame. Look at that. He's now walking. LeBron still ain't crossed half court. Now you telling me LeBron is not fast enough to get in frame? He still ain't crossed half court. That's your king, though. 8 turnovers, don't cross half court on none of them. Nice. Shake and bake. He keeping them down. I don't know why he's keeping them down instead of squaring them up. Ain't nobody there to help him. That's a lot just to get 2 points. Look at this. Look at this defense. This is what I don't understand. If the ball gets swung, ball's here, strong side. Aiden is away from here. The center, no, that's not Aiden. That's Hachimura. Aiden is like right here. He can't get to that, man. Hachimura needs to step over and get in front of that big and have Aiden run weak side. Let's see if that happens. Oh, they lucky the ball was low. Luka always trying to flop up. Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. Y'all got to see this. Look at this. I want y'all to look at this. When this ball is thrown, they got one-on-one right here, right? They got one guy here, one guy here. 3 Lakers players in a row in front of all these guys. This is where I talk about energy and effort. 3 Lakers players are in front of these guys. This guy, LeBron, Aiden, and I think that's Smart. Smart is hugging this guy. This guy is behind all of them. No energy, no effort. None of the Lakers players are starting to react. Let's see. This guy is still not even with LeBron and them yet. Okay, he's even. Number 15 is even with Aiden. Look at LeBron James. Do it look like LeBron James is running? Bron got to wipe off that sweat to get speed, KB. Look at LeBron top corner. He don't give a fuck. He chilling. Look at LeBron. This guy is fighting like a monster and dog to try to catch up. Aiden is tipping. LeBron is not moving. So am I a hater for pointing this out? Because this is a film session. Am I hating or the film is saying that the king is a lazy son of a bitch until he get the ball in his hand? This is a lazy ass king. He does not do anything unless he got the ball in his hand. This is shit. You can call it hating. I call it a film session. You can call it hating. I call it film. Film don't lie. That's the one thing about film is it does not lie. Everybody else playing ball except LeBron. Bron played one end of the court. And as long as he get his 20-something points, his numbers, all y'all happy. He stand in the corner. Shot go up. Ball is out there. Look at LeBron. Now he's ready to run right there. Look at him. I got my cursor on LeBron. He's ready to run. He gonna think about it. Oh, no, I gotta save my energy. He went from a running stance to standing straight up. Oh, nope, gotta save my energy. Don't know how many pills I got left of aspirin for my knee. Cause he got to be on Advil and all kind of other shit for swelling. We all used to take Advil. Why in the world is he not running? Now, do I know if he take Advil? No, but I would assume so. We all used to. LeBron got center blocks for feet. Yeah, he damn sure ain't running. I want to know what are all his fanboys going to say that all I'm doing is going over a film session where their king is walking up and down the goddamn court. Look. Oh, no, I got to conserve energy. I got bad knees on 41. So on a one-on-one turns into a 2-on-1. LeBron didn't come. But they're supposed to be a team. LeBron didn't come. Oh, my God. All of these people are wrong. All right. Film session tells me Marcus Smart is wrong. No vision to the basketball. The back of his head is to the ball. Marcus Smart is wrong. This is why the Lakers are not a well-coached team. They just got a lot of talent. LeBron James is hugging his man. He's wrong. LeBron James should be about right here. And he should take that left foot, step out there. He's one step to the paint. Hachimura, whoever this is in the corner over here, They're wrong. They're hugging their man. He should be off into the paint watching this action, but he's hugging his man. So all of these guys are wrong. These two players on the baseline should be closer to the paint. Marcus Smart should see the ball. Let's see how this work out for him. He beats Luka off the dribble because he knows Luka is slow as hell. Let's look at LeBron, Ramon James. Let's go back one step. Let's see the guy who said he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. Let's see if he reacts, or let's see if he conserve energy. LeBron James never moves out of his spot. LeBron James never moved. LeBron could take 2 steps and be right here. 1 step. LeBron could take 1 slide step and be right there in front of that guy. Let's see what LeBron does. Everybody's watching. Marcus Smart is watching. LeBron is watching. Rudy is watching. This is the Lakers, a dunk at their rim. This is sad. Excuse me. Ain't nothing they can do about that. Aiden Ballard down low. All right. I hate this pick and roll defense because Aiden is out of position. First of all, they're dropping and plugging, which I think is because these guys are out of shape and the league don't want to see them not score a lot of points. You trap and plug a lot of these guards, they wouldn't be efficient scorers. Trap here, Luka should be closer. Trap this guy. Roll man get bumped by Marcus Smart. LeBron James come over. He stunt up the lane and recover. Stunt up the lane and recover. LeBron James should be 290. He's 2 passes away. He should be 290. Encourage that skip pass and then chase him off the shot. I like this kid, Jake LaRabia. I think he's an all-around player being stunted. Good steal. Good hustle. So it's offense. So LeBron is going to make an effort to get back. Oh, he's tired. Now he's going to stop. He realized somebody else is about to score. Holy majoli. Jesus Christ. Yes, sir. The boy done caught a body. The boy done caught a body about a week ago. Goodness gracious. Jackson Hayes, 2. Oh, my God. 2 hands from the dotted line. God. Boy, Jesus Christ. Yes, Lord. Boy, that was a nice one. Damn. LeBron with the bully ball. Misses it. Jackson Hayes saves him. Get right back to him. Twist his ankle. Let's see if LeBron pick him up. Okay, LeBron picking his teammates now. We're going to make you a better teammate, boy. Yeah, we're going to make you a better teammate. Pick up your damn teammate. All this, as soon as somebody say something to you, they hate you. Fuck all that. You ain't perfect. Help your goddamn teammate. They help your bald head ass up. Luka is doing his thing. Oh, boy, Luka goddamn cold, boy. Waka flocka. Luka like, nah, I ain't gonna pass it there. He thought he had Luka. Oh, yeah, he happy for the offense. Look at him. He pumped up. Let's see the way he play defense. Oh, they done showing defense. I gotta get my DVR going so I can record. That shit's been a travel. They got Booker on LeBron. Damn. That boy's a one-legged leaper. Nice. All right, we're gonna end it right there. They just showing most of their offense now. They don't want to show none of that defense. But man, that's my take on LeBron and the Lakers. They're not going to be any elite teams because they don't get back on defense. And it's led by LeBron. At least they tried to get back on defense when he was out. When he turns the ball over, it leads to numbers on the other end because he's not going to use the energy that he needs to get back. So it leads to numbers on the other end. And that's sad. You're not going to find too many great defenders at 40. Then he need to come sit on the couch with me. Where's the Waka Flocka? My bad. Yeah, man, my nose kind of stopped up. But yeah, man, this is the film session. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the film. I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone. Appreciate everybody who super chatted. I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone.